Hey, so fam, ooh, how you doing? Amelia Adair here. Let's get to some things. It feels so good out here, so fam. I was just walking, and I wanted to do a little bit of talking, because that's what we do. And I wanted to talk about a few things, but let me start off. So nice out. See this one? Let me start off and just say that when you are growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, there's gonna be this fire inside of you, right? And you're gonna be so focused on that fire and that energy that you have that you're not gonna want to waste it doing things that have no real purpose, meaning like you're not gonna want to waste time, one, complaining, two, just hanging out just to be hanging out. You're gonna want to do things that bring you. Let's see, let's walk this way. Oh, what? No, let's look at the sun. You're gonna want to do things that bring you joy, bring you peace. You're not gonna want to do things, and when I say things, I mean like you're not gonna want to do jobs. You're not gonna want to hang out with certain people. You're not gonna want to waste any more of your time that you may have already wasted doing things that you don't want to do. Like, there's things that your spirit knows, like your spirit knows it's not good for you. So like, say, hold on. Say you're like attached to a certain place, right? Like, you like to go to this certain place because maybe someone introduced it to you. Maybe you're just used to going there. Maybe it's close by, right? Or maybe you started a job because you really needed money at the time and it worked. After a certain amount of time, that's going to get tiring to your spirit, right? You're going to be just over it, and you're going to want to start doing things that's more purposeful. You're going to want to start doing things that long-term benefit you and those around you. Because if you're doing things that don't benefit you and those around you, and definitely putting yourself first, then what are you really doing? You're just people pleasing in the sense. And we all know people pleasing will take you so far, okay? If you're a people pleaser, take it from me, you'll probably meet people that'll just never be pleased with you. So just be who you are and be proud of the mistakes you made. Be proud of wherever you come from. And don't compare your life to anyone. Anyone. Like, you'll be sitting around thinking something is really gold because it's glittery. And y'all know how that saying goes. That's not true. And you'll just be having rude awakenings when you're sitting around wishing for somebody else's life. And when you got someone else's life, you're going to be sitting around like, do I really want this? What am I doing? You're going to be confused. And you're going to be having a rude awakening. So be mindful, so fam. Now let's get to today's topic. That wasn't even the topic, so fam. That was just part one. When you have a growth mindset, hey, I hear the music. When you have a growth mindset, you are trying to better yourself and putting yourself in a position where other people would be inspired or will be wanting better for themselves. You're not trying to spoon feed people. But when you have a growth mindset, you are thinking abundantly. You're not thinking, this is my last. You're not thinking, if I don't get this, then it's over. You're thinking more positively, and you're thinking bigger. Think big. You gotta think big, boo. So when you have a growth mindset, you are mentally in a space where you know it's not a race. You're in a space where you know that everything takes time, and take your time through each step. Now, when you have a fixed mindset, it's like you kind of in a place where you don't have as much hope, and you just following followers. You're just following what someone told you to do, told you to work, but you're not really asking questions, okay? When you have a fixed mindset, you're not asking questions, you're not walking out on faith, you're not trying it for yourself. You're kind of the observer in everyone's life. Like you just want to ask how they did it, but you never really gonna do it. You want to know how they do it, why they do it. You want to know all this, every single thing, every step, every question, and you're not going to do it for yourself. You're just asking so you can try to pinpoint why you can't do whatever it is that you may really want to do. For instance, say you want to move to another state. I'm not even going to name a state, right? Say you want to move to another state. So you run into somebody, or you find someone that live in that state, right? And then you start asking them 20 to 50 different questions, 50 different areas about that state. And you do it for time after time after time. You do it at time after time after time. And you do it for time and time again, and then you never take a step. You get all the steps, you get all the information, you get all the data, but you never take the step, because there's something inside of you that's too afraid to do it for yourself, because your mindset is too stuck on if you were to fail. You're too busy thinking about the negative stuff. So when you have a fixed mindset, you have more of a negative mindset, and you approach situations with fear rather than with hope. And when you have that growth mindset and that abundance mindset, you have hope. You got to think of growth mindset like going to when a job offers you a salary, right? This is growth mindset, so fam. This is about to really change the game for y'all, so y'all can understand. When a job offers you a position, right? Offers you a job, and they say, we're gonna give you $80K a year, right? That job may not even have the $80K in their bank account, so fam. That job probably has about 15 to 20% of it, like enough to get you on a job. And then the rest of it is their hopes to make that money throughout the year, right? So when you hear people got laid off for this and that, yeah, because the job was hoping for the best, but it just didn't work out. So when you have a growth mindset, you're hoping for, based on your planning and based on your information and based off your experience and based off your skill, you're hoping that you're predicting that we could make ends meet, right? And so When companies are in business for time and time again, they've mastered it. They've mastered a growth mindset. They've built themselves to that place. They didn't just roll over and get there. They didn't get scary about all the negative things that everyone has said and projected on their life or on that particular avenue, like as far as the job goes. So when you go out here and you have a growth mindset, or you shift to a growth mindset, you start to think more positively of your results. And you start to think more positively about where you came from, right? I like the lighting right here, so man. You start to think more positively about where you came from and about where you're going. And when you have a fixed mindset, or I like to call it a negative mindset, you like to be more comfortable. Like comfortability works for you. What you have is always enough. And hopefully, it works out in that smaller portion. Okay, you're not trying to take no risks, is what I'm saying. So if you're not trying to take risks, do what you do, babe. But just know, the world grows and becomes better when we have those people that have that courage, that push against all those limitations and take those risks. Take those risks, so fam. You waste more time thinking about the risks. You waste more time thinking about it. Like, don't waste no more time thinking about it. If you thought about it, if it sound possible, if it sound realistic, and you're not in a fantasy, then so fam, go for it. Like, take one step at a time and trust your skill, trust your faith, trust your God. Trust your God, number one, and things will work out. Things can work out. Life can get better. It's gotten better. Look at us living in homes from where we first started. We wasn't living in no buildings. We was probably living in the tree, in the cave, or whatever. Who knows? Point is, we have cars, we have buses, we have trains. That shows you that there's possibilities. There's possibilities for growth. So start to, I know it seems like we have everything at our hands and at our fingertips, and it's like, well, what else more can we do? There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. So fam, I still see everywhere I go at least 1 to 10 people who's stuck. So don't think that everything is done. There's work that needs to be done. You just have to think outside of the box and trust the skills that you have. All right, so fam. Ooh, Amelia Adair here. If you want to talk about it, my details are always below to book you a session. Let's conversate. Or if you want to take you a course, I do have courses available. Details are always below. If you want to read a book, my new book, 77 Pieces of Poetry, is on Amazon. Get you a good read. Start your day off positively and trust the process. All right. Sometimes I have to read my books and get back into that mindset daily, because it's not a one-day thing. It's a process. All right, so fam, trust the process. I gotta go. I'm starting to sweat. Amelia Adair here. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.